he comes into play. He comes onto the battlefield, and he's getting his bearings. He can't quite attack yet. He's summoning sick, and we're gonna pass the turn. And my opponent untaps. He's going to play a land. He's going to play a 2/2 creature, let's say. So he has a 1/1 creature and a 2/2 creature, and he's going to pass the turn. Let's imagine that. Okay. Beginning of my turn, I get to untap or restore my board, so I get to untap all of these so that they can be generating more magical mana turn after turn. Yay. And he's no longer summoning sick. I go through an upkeep stage, which no cards require upkeep. I get to draw. Okie dokie. I'm going to play a different sort of card. That is not a creature. All the things that I've played are creatures. So I'm going to tap 1 green and 3 of something else. I'm going to do that again because this card requires 1 green and 3 of something else. Now, it's a little bit different on this one. The cost, rather than being in the upper right, is sort of in the picture on the left. But as you can see, it says it's 1 little green foresty symbol and 3 of something else. This card is called Muraganda Petroglyphs, and it's not a creature. It's an enchantment. It does not have a power and toughness. It cannot attack or block, but it just sort of lays an enchantment onto the board, onto the battlefield, and the enchantment says that creatures with no abilities get +2/+2. Now, how is this going to affect gameplay? No creatures with no abilities get +2/+2. Well, in that box where the text appears, abilities appear in bold text. Flavor text is italic. This creature has only italic text in its box. In the lower box, in the middle, the big one, and it has no abilities. It only has flavor text. Flavor text in the story, it doesn't actually give the creature, it doesn't give the creature trample to like trample over creatures. It doesn't give the creature flying. This creature does not fly. You know, it doesn't fly over your head and do damage anyway. It's, you know, it's not a defender. It doesn't just defend, it can attack. There's lots of different abilities that creatures could possibly have, but this one has none. So how this enchantment is going to affect gameplay is that he's going to make this guy bigger. This guy, instead of being a 4/3, is going to be a 6/5 because he's going to get +2/+2. He's going to attack for 6 and possibly block or take up to 5 damage before he dies. Well, 4 damage actually. So I got a creature and I got an enchantment. The creature is summoning sick. Enchantments don't have any kind of consciousness per se, so they don't have to get their bearings. They work immediately. Only creatures are the only type of spell and type of permanent that have summoning sickness. Artifacts, you know, they don't have a consciousness to speak of, which they have to, like, you know, orientate themselves. They're not asking questions of who am I and why am I here on this given earth. No. Enchantments know what they're doing from the first thing. So this takes effect immediately. And I will definitely decide to attack my opponent with this huge creature. A 6/5. And we're going to imagine that both of his creatures have abilities, because otherwise his creature would get +2/+2. We're going to imagine, for the purposes of, you know, arbitrary imagination, we're going to say that they have abilities, and that those abilities don't directly affect me or combat or really anything that I'm doing. So they still have a 1/1 and a 2/2. Neither one of them gets a great ability. So he's going to block with the 1/1 because he doesn't want to take 6 damage, and that creature dies, and my creature lives. And I've used up all of my land this turn to produce my magical mana. Alright, and I'm going to have to say done. I'm pretty much tapped out on resources. Here we go. Okay, my opponent's gonna play a land. He's gonna drew his card. He's gonna play a land. This time I don't have any blockers because my creature's been all tapped out. He's all tired. He's been used. So when he attacks me with that 2/2 that didn't block last turn, I have no blockers. The enchantment can't block. I'm gonna have to take 2. And I think this is probably where... Alright, let's imagine that he plays a 3/3. And we're going to say that this 3/3 that my opponent plays has no abilities. So it's going to get this bonus. It actually is a 5/5. Alright. But he passes the turn to me. So starting my turn, I get to upkeep... or untap, I'm sorry. I get to untap, I get to restore, and then I go through my upkeep, and then I draw my card. And let's play my card. Got a land, so I get to play 1 land. Alrighty. Tap 1 white and 1 of something else to play Fresh Volunteers. And Fresh Volunteers costs 1 white and something else, so I have tapped 1 white and something else. Gotta tap Plains or my Secluded Steppe, and I've tapped my forest. So I tapped 2 land to generate the 2 mana to play his cost. He's a creature, he's a rebel. The little mask symbol on the middle of the card has no bearing. That's what set he's from, the Acadian Mask. He also has no abilities. He only has flavor text and little story to make him a little bit more flavorful. And so his 2/2, his 2 attack and 2 toughness is actually, he gets +2/+2. He's a 4/4 instead of just a 2/2. He gets the Muraganda Petroglyph bonus. And we're gonna say he's summoning sick. He's not. I could attack with him. I'm gonna go ahead and tap 1 more white and 1 more of something else. So I've now generated 2 mana, 1 white and 1 of something else. Could be anything, could be another white, could be another red, could be blue, doesn't matter. So that I can play this guy. Blade of the Sixth Pride. He's a little bit weird if you look at him. It's got full art, that's nice, that makes it look pretty, it's a pretty card. But over on the left you see the 1 white symbol and the 1 grayish symbol, which is just a 1. It says 1 white and something else. He's a creature card, Cat Rebel, and he has a symbol over there. Kind of looks like an egg too. But he has 3/8 power and 1 toughness, and he doesn't even have a box to speak of. He has no abilities. He gets the bonus of the Muraganda Petroglyphs too. So instead of a 3/1, this guy's going to be a 5/3. Whoopee. Alright, so let's see here. Let's analyze. I got 2 guys that can't attack yet. They're still getting their bearings. I have 1 guy that can, but I do have an opponent that has a 3/3 with no ability, so he gets 5/5. So if I engage in combat, if I were to attack, and he were to block, if I were to attack, and he were to block, he could kill this guy with 5 total damage to this guy's 5 total toughness. I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't want to lose that guy right now. I think he might block. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm not gonna attack with this guy, and I can't attack with these guys, and I don't have anything that can play for only 1 land, so I'm gonna end my turn.